Assalamualaikum and a very good morning I wish to all of you. This morning, we would like to present our topic about current issues on streaming and reintroductions of Ppsmi. My group members are Nur Faziha binti Zahari and Nur Ain Amirah binti Muhammad. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Nur Shahira and I would like to present about the current issues on streaming. Next. My talk this morning is divided into two main sections. For the first section, I will present about the current issue on streaming class and second section on current issues on streaming art and science stream. Next. Now, I will present on first section, which is the current issues on streaming class. Next. Objective here is definition, advantage, disadvantage, and current issue. Definition. Streaming refers to the act of grouping students into classes based on their intellectual or academic endeavor in this study. Refer to the permanent ability grouping for the whole year based on the student's previous year and exam results. The advantage of this streaming, first, it will provide for the standardized lesson planning and reduce peer pressure that facilitates students to set achievable goals and increase motivations. Second, able to manage its resource more effectively. Teachers become more skillful in handling a particular group of students in the time allocated in the timetables. Third, it will help students learn with others of similar abilities, so learning can be done at the same pace. This purportedly prevents weaker students from losing confidence and motivation if they are slower than their peers to grasp new concepts. Lastly, they allow teachers to apply the same pace of teaching with everyone within the classroom without fear of leaving anyone behind. However, there is two disadvantages. First, low self-confidence. Students will always compare each other. Some students in the lower ability look at this negatively. They think they belong to the lower ability group because they are too long and never got a chance to enter a higher ability groups and lost self-confidence. Second, the teacher needs to attending discipline problem. The teacher had to face in the main of lower ability groups. Many of reason the student lack of motivation to study. As to conclude, seems that streaming is more beneficial, although there are few disadvantages. However, in the current issue, next. In December last year, the Education Ministry, Dr. Razi Jidin, announced that the practice of class streaming will be stopped and that the Year 1 entrance test will be abolished. The criteria used for streaming was solely based on the academic achievement, particularly subject cover in the national exams. Now, we move on to the second section, which is the issue about no more art or science stream for Form 4 next year. Art and science stream would be replaced with stream, which is science, technology, reading, art and music education. Next. On this session, I also cover on definition, advantage, disadvantage, and current issue. For the definition, streaming is the practice of sorting students into different study paths or direction, which is science stream or art stream, based on their intellectual capability and interest. This streaming segregation at school was based on PT3 result. Students go into art streams, choosing subjects such as account, economy, and art, or the science stream, option for studies such as physics, biology, chemistry. Next. There is advantage that I want to highlight here. First, effective school management strategy. Senior schools suggest streaming as an effective school management strategy. It promotes good quality education for science and art program, which is line with the school objective. Streaming gives teachers a better knowledge of their students' behavior and interest by refer to their record from the previous year. However, there is a disadvantage. Disadvantage is from parents' point of view. Why? Because the parents segregating and categorizing students according to their academic performance create issue mostly from the parents' view. They think stream with better performance and paying less attention to lower ability groups. Lower ability groups are mostly affected by this scheme. Now, we move on to the current issue. Science or Art New System and Debate. Kuala Lumpur, November 2019, Form 4 student will be given subject package. As you can see, subject package starting 2020 on the table there. The students have the student have the given to choose package option instead of being forced into science or art stream beginning next year, which is this year lah. Education Ministry Deputy Director General there, Dr. Habibah Abdul Rahim, say that this subject package will cater to student interest and capability. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Nur Faziha binti Zahari. Now, I will proceed with Ppsmi, Pengajaran dan Pembelajaran Sains dan Matematik dalam Bahasa Inggeris. Okay, first, what is Ppsmi? Have you ever heard this term before this? Yes or no? Okay, now let's proceed. Ppsmi is the teaching and learning of science and mathematics in English. It's a government policy aimed at improving the command of the English language amongst people at primary and secondary school in Malaysia. In accordance to this policy, the science and mathematics subjects are taught in the English medium as opposed to the Malay medium used before. Okay, now I will proceed with a background of Ppsmi. Who introduced this policy? Okay, this policy was introduced by our former Prime Minister, which is Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, introduced in 2003. Ppsmi has been the subject of the debate among academics, politicians, and the public alike, which is culminated to the announcement of the policies reversible in 2012 by the Deputy Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. And after they abolished this Ppsmi policy, they launched dual language program DLP was established after Ppsmi was abolished. Okay, next is history of Ppsmi. Now we know what is Ppsmi, so let's know more deeper about Ppsmi. Ppsmi's inception as a Malaysian government policy was the result of the cabinet meeting on 19 July 2002 under the administration of the fourth Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. According to the Malaysian Minister of Education, the policy would be run in stage, starting with the 2003 school session, pioneered by all the students of Year 1 in the primary education level and Form 1 of the secondary education level. Ppsmi was then fully implemented to all secondary students in 2007 and to all primary students in 2008. When proposing the policy, Tun Dr. Mahathir was in the opinion that Malaysia's progress is declining in the age of globalization, and he had hoped that this policy give a competitive edge to the nation. Okay, now let's proceed with objective of PPSMI. Objective of PPSMI consists of four, which is rational decision, which is they want to achieving the standard of developed country as well as an early preparation to compete in the era of globalization. Second, field of science and mathematics. Various innovation and discovery in these two fields happen rapidly and information accessed in mostly in the English language. Third, English language spoken internationally and mastery in this language would allow easy access to information in this field. And the last one is they want to enhance student command. This is to ensure student mastery in science and mathematics in view of the fact that most of the source are available in English language. Okay, next we proceed with implementation of PPSMI. PPSMI learning material are offered in the form of a package which is to the students and also the teacher. For example, they provide textbook, which is they given the textbook has been given to students as the basic software learning on concept and skill in science and mathematics. The second one, activity book. They given as supplementary material for the student to practice their understanding of the concept learned from textbook. This buku latihan and activity or BLA will provide for students of year 1 only. And they provide teacher's guide, which is the material prepared for teacher as reference and guide. This this teacher guide is to plan and implement effective teaching of the science and mathematics. And the last one, they gave teacher CD-ROM, which is help teachers to plan and implement effective teaching of the science and mathematics to help teacher to plan the learning and teaching in the classroom. Okay, now let's proceed with advantage and disadvantage of PPSMI. For advantage of PPSI, this policy assisting the students while continuing their study at the international level. Second, students can learn English more easily. And the last one is enhance the dignity of our language and country. Okay, now let's take a look of the disadvantage of PPSMI policy. The first one, cause rural students to have difficulty in understanding mathematics and science subject in English. The second one, deterioration in academic performance. And the last one, lack of teacher who specialize in English. That's all from me. Thank you.
Ini merupakan pendirian peribadi saya dan pernah saya kongsikan pandangan saya kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri. Saya bersetuju dengan cadangan Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri. Saya merupakan salah seorang anak muda yang melalui pengajaran PPSMI dan pada masa yang sama saya berjaya dididik melalui sistem PPSMI sampai akhirnya saya berjaya. Dan pada peringkat awal pun bukan sahaja penggunaan bahasa Inggeris saya sangat lemah, tetapi selepas tamatnya pengajian di pendidikan tinggi, apa yang saya belajar melalui pendidikan PPSMI tersebut in Science and Maths juga saya dapat guna pakai sampai ke peringkat universiti, sampai ke hari ini. Dan saya kata PPSMI memang banyak membantu saya dan generasi saya. Sebab itu saya menyokongnya. Saya tahu perkara ini bukan perkara yang mudah, tetapi saya memberikan sokongan kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri Tun Dr. Mahathir kerana saya tahu bila dia bawa perkara ini walaupun tidak mudah dan tidak popular, tetapi beliau berniat ikhlas untuk memastikan bahawa anak-anak muda khususnya di kawasan luar bandar dan separa bandar dapat diberikan pendidikan yang terbaik, pendedahan yang terbaik supaya akhirnya mereka sekompetitif yang lain bila mereka masuk ke universiti atau ke laman pekerjaan pada masa yang akan datang.
So pandangan YB mengenai ada segelintir pimpinan dalam pakatan sendiri yang berkata ini adalah idea lapor berdasarkan yang diletak betul di bawah semula.
Ya, saya faham. Sebab itu dalam perkara ini juga selalu perbincangan akan dimuktamadkan dalam kabinet perbincangan bersama.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Nur Amira binti Mohammed. So I continue with the next subtopic, which is effect the implementation of PPSMI. Next. Okay, when it comes to effect, it always have a good effect and a bad effect. So first let's take a look on the good effect first. Okay, next. Okay, first is to produce many more intelligent students in all three subjects, which are mathematics, science, and English. Okay, when we say that, because of the student give more time for the study of English, that particularly in learning science and mathematics subjects. So that's why they said that they want to produce more intelligent students. So the second good effect is to produce highly competitive students, because when the students learn in English, the students will have to accept English as a passport for employment and further studies, beside other opportunities in the globalized world, where English is in fact the lingua franca of the world. And then we continue with the bad effect. Okay, next. Okay, actually, when I read regarding the PPSMI, there were many bad effects than the good effects. And okay, next. Okay, the first bad effect is declining of academic performance. Why it said that? Because the ministry's record show a decline in the students' ability in learning the subject. When students show that kind of scenario, of course, it will affect their grade for their mathematics and science subject. And the second one is reduce students' interest in learning science and mathematics subject, because as we know that science and math were kind of tough subject for the student. Even when they learn in bahasa, they still feel the tough of the subject, and ni dia kena belajar dalam English. Lagilah subject ni lagi tough. And then the third one is the average score of Malaysian student achievement in TIMSS declined significantly. So what is the meaning of TIMSS is trends in international mathematics and science study. Okay, they show that decline steadily thereafter the rank and score below the international average to the first. Before we implement this PPSMI, our rank in TIMSS is 21st. But after we implement this PPSMI, we decline to 32 second place in 2018. And then the four bad effect is the study show PPSMI pose a problem understanding English usage, say challenging culture of the Malays. So I will describe this effect on the next slide. Okay, next. Okay, as we know that when we change our Prime Minister from Najib to Dr. Mahathir, so Dr. Mahathir want to reintroduce of PPSMI, but most of the netizens are not agree with him. regarding this reintroduction of PPSMI. So next, I show you guys what are the issues when Dr. Mahathir want to reintroduce this PPSMI. So this fact is I took it from the news, which is they stated the current issues now in 2020 also same with the issues that happened back then in 2003 to 2012 when PPSI is implemented. So netizens nowadays don't agree with Tun Mahathir to reintroduce this PPSMI because of this issue. Okay, next. Okay, these are some of the issues. Okay, next. Okay, the ship is dancing. Okay, this is also the issues of the PPSMI. So today I would like to talk about the issues on PPSMI that happened back then. That's why netizens do not agree with Tun when he said that he want to reintroduce this PPSMI. So one of the issues is a reintroduction of PPSMI would only cause students from the rural areas to lose interest in both the subject of science and mathematics. Okay, the difference of the students' background, for example, that those from the rural areas and those from the city should not be ignored, as different approach need to be applied to them to ensure the efficiency of this policy. So there are some students who fail in mathematics and science simply due to their poor command of English, and this particular occurs in the rural area. And then the second issue is the failure of PPSMI was proven at the TIMSS that has dropped from 20 something to 30 something. That's why the netizens doesn't agree. Okay. And then the third one is incompetent English proficiency teachers, difficulty in preparing the dual language exam papers, and even the lack of motivation among the teachers themselves until incentives were given which give rise to many wanting to teach them for the sake of the incentive. So back then many teachers have problems regarding to make the exam papers in Dwi Bahasa. And then next. Okay, the fourth one is a lack of English teacher is the main factor that caused the weakness of the policy of teaching and learning science and mathematics in English. Okay, the teachers have lack or no solid background in teaching the subject in English as they learn them in Bahasa Melayu. In fact, it takes up to 10 years to train the teachers to be skillful enough in teaching the subject in English. And then the fifth one is many schools, especially in the rural areas, which do not have an appropriate environment for both the teachers and students, inefficiently proceed with this policy due to the lack of infrastructure and school facilities. Okay, therefore, the implementation of PPSMI makes the student from such areas difficult to compete with those who are studying in the city. So on the other hand, the government representative also need to regularly pay a visit to the schools, especially those in those rural area, to monitor the implementation of PPSMI. And the sixth issues is, okay, the implementation of teaching and learning PPSMI should be stopped immediately because it will take away Bahasa Melayu as one of the language used in assimilating knowledge and information in the world. Okay. PPSMI has also reduced the dominance of Bahasa Melayu as the national language and also has weakened the ability of the students from the other races to master the language. And then the seven issues is, okay, the percentage of students who are weak in understanding mathematics and science in English is increasing, mainly due to their poor command of good English. Okay, this leads to the lack of ability to grasp the concept of mathematics and science that are being taught in English. Okay, the fact is that the Malay student can easily understand and can better reflect the concept of mathematics and science in Bahasa Melayu as they master the language. When the other teachers explain the concept, information and knowledge of mathematics and science in Bahasa Melayu, the students can easily comprehend them. Okay, the last issues is teachers are freely forced to teach maths and science in English. Their lack of skill to teach in English makes them unable to transfer the correct concept effectively. Thus, the student will find the concept very hard to understand. So as we know, this country faced lack of English teachers back then, and the subjects are being taught by the teachers who are not fully able to guide the students to learn proper English. As a result, okay, student will be less skillful in the knowledge and mastery of English. Okay, next. Okay, guys, okay, what do you think, or what do netizens think about PPSMI? Is it yay? Is it nay? Okay. From what I have read from the news and the articles from the past, in the implementation of PPSMI, many of the netizens say nay to the PPSMI. So let's take a look. Okay, what the netizens says is keep the dual language program, DLP. Okay, I took this in the paper. So this netizen said that why not stick to the current DLP? Give school, parent, and student the option to learn math and science in English or not. Mandatory PPSMI only works well if all students have decent English to begin with. Okay, currently this education system in Malay practice DLP, whereby it is optional for not only schools but also parents and students to choose whether they want their child to learn STEM subject in English. Okay, when it is good actually, DLP give parent to choose choice for their child. And then the second one is it's hard for the teachers. Okay, Abel Abdullah, maybe he is a teacher. So he said that I teach math and at math. It is hard enough for them to understand it in their native language, in Malay. So back then when I was in school and PPSMI was implemented, even the teachers were struggling. So teachers will find it even harder, but they have no choice but to comply with the decision made by the government. Although they are maths and science teachers who have more than 10 years of teaching experience, actually that support PPSMI, the government also needs to consider other teachers who do not agree with this idea. So all educators must be equipped with proper training, especially those who are not used to teaching in English language. So if students find it hard to understand what is being taught in English, the teacher will face it harder to teach. And then the third one is what the netizens say is PPSMI is not for everyone. So this Alina Amir said that a question I always ask, if a teacher is teaching and no one is learning, is the teacher teaching? Yeah, this is a good questions. Kalau student tak faham, macam apa? Macam tak ada hasil teacher tu ajar. So our goal as a teacher is to meet our students' need when it comes to learning and reaching their potential. Okay, the best approach is the approach that reach them. PPSMI is not for everyone. So some of us who attend high school during the time when PPSMI was implemented, we might have benefit a lot from it. But in order to make teaching happen, there must have be two-way effective communication. Teachers only have one goal in their career, which is to fulfill what the students need. Okay, the last one is consider students in rural school. Okay, you love English and reading means that you have access on English book or maybe English channel show on TV. And maybe your family or friends speak English. That in a rural or outskirt area don't even have access nor able to buy those things. Okay, no English speaking environment at all. So okay, students who are not really good in English language will be at disadvantages. For example, student in the rural area. There are also some teachers who are not proficient in English language. So this policy must be examined through different aspects with a consideration. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.